Hello students, in today's lecture we will see the introduction to unit number 2 and unit number 2 of emerging trends in mechanical engineering is related to process engineering, and in process engineering there is a introduction to process boiler. So boilers that you have studied in second year in the subject thermal engineering as well as in 5th semester of power plant engineering. So let us see what are the contents of unit number 2. In this unit number 2, we will study about what is meant by process boilers. After that, steam and condensate loop in process industries. So, before in some subject like power plant engineering and thermal engineering, you have studied the layout of steam power plant, but that was used in production of electricity or electrical power. But this is nothing but the same, but steam and condensate loop, the structure will be the same, but it is used for process industries. After that, in this unit we will study introduction to ultra supercritical boilers. So there are certain high pressure boiler, low pressure boiler. In power plant engineering you have studied high pressure boilers, but after that also there are ultra supercritical boilers that we will study the introduction to it. After that, what is hyperbolic cooling towers? What is cooling tower we know very well. For cooling purpose it is used, and but what is by hyperbolic specifically cooling towers, that we will study in this unit. After that, waste heat recovery in process industries. This concept that we already studied in power plant engineering, the same concept that is utilized in process industries. So we will study again in short what is waste heat recovery in process industries. So this is a sketch of the boiler. You will see in this photograph there is a big drum of the boiler, 4 drums attached with different pipelines. So you can have an idea how is the nature of process boilers that are used in process industries. So what is boiler, or particularly a steam boiler or a steam generator, is a closed vessel in which water is heated, vaporized and converted into steam at higher pressure than atmospheric pressure. A boiler is biggest and most critical part of the thermal power plant. So thermal power plant means power plant engineering, in that there is a thermal power plant or steam power plant, and boiler is the biggest part of this such type of power plants. Definition of boiler according to the IBR Act, like the Indian Boiler Regulation Act. It means a steam boiler means any closed vessel exceeding 22.75 liters in capacity and which is used expressively for generating steam and pressure. So this is the definition of boiler according to the Indian Boiler Regulation Act 1923. Then what is process boiler? Process boiler is the same definition or concept, but it is used in process industries. A boiler is an enclosed vessel that provides means for combustion and transfer heat to water until it becomes hot water or a steam. The hot water or steam under pressure is then usable for transferring the heat to the process. Water is useful and cheap medium for transferring heat to a particular process. When water is boiled into steam, its volume increases about 1600 times, producing a force that is almost an explosive or gunpowder. So this force is acting as a explosive force or like a gunpowder. So volume increases and about 1600 times. That is the important here. Liquid, when heated up to the gaseous state, this process is called evaporation. The heating surface is any part of the boiler. Hot gases of combustion are on one side and water on the other side. Any part of the boiler metal that actually contributes to making steam is a heating surface. The amount of heating surface of the boiler is expressed in square meters. The larger the heating surface a boiler has, the more efficient it becomes. So this way, depending on the heating surface. The boiler system is made up of 3 components. So number 1 is feed water system, number 2 is steam system, and number 3 is fuel system. The feed water system provides water to the boiler and regulates it automatically to meet the steam demand. The water supplied to boiler that is converted to steam is called feed water. The sources of feed water are condensate or condensed steam returned from the process, Makeup water, which is the raw water which must come from outside the boiler room and plant process. The steam system collects and control the steam produced in the boiler. Steam is directly through a piping system to the point of use. Throughout the system, steam pressure is regulated using valves and checked with the steam pressure gauges. The fuel system includes all equipment used to provide fuel to generate the necessary heat. The equipment required in the fuel system depend on the type of fuel used in the system. So this way, these are the explanation of three components of the boilers or industrial boilers or process boilers. What are the applications of these particular boilers? Boiler is used for operating steam engines, operating steam turbines, operating reciprocating pumps, industrial process work in chemical engineering, for producing hot water required to be supplied to room in very cold areas in thermal power stations, and the last one, the heat content of the steam is large and thus it is suitable for process heating in many industries like sugar industries, textile mills, dairy industries, and also the chemical industries. So that's why here this last point is very important from this unit point of view. Process boilers means in sugar mills, textiles mill, dairy industries, chemical industries, these are the industries where some processes are occurring and that process requires the particular process boilers. So this way, this is nothing but regarding the application of boiler or the application of process boiler. We have seen these types of boilers: horizontal, vertical, inclined boilers, fire tube and water tube boiler, externally fire and internally fired boilers, forced circulation, natural circulation, high pressure, low pressure, stationary and portable boiler, single tube and multi-tube boiler, fluidized bed boiler FBC, and after that pulverized fuel boiler, such type that we have seen in the subject power plant engineering, and the same concepts are used in process boilers. So these are some of the reference link. This is nothing but a reference link. You can watch that the details in this. Thank you very much. Rest of the part we'll study in next slide.